I've been thinking of some good intro. But then again, how do you guys think podcasts, how do they start with an intro? Like I haven't seen that many podcasts as an intro, but then it needs to be something which is distinguishable. Anyways, I think for the time being we'll stick with hey everyone, welcome to Idayam. Yeah, that works well for me. So today's episode is called Zoom Out Syndrome. I know it's pretty, what do I say? It's pretty vague and pretty weird, to be honest, the name. But before that, let me just tell you a quick funny story. Obviously, so this happened in my room. No. Wait, let me introduce that better. So, the windows of my room, they now have meshes, but it didn't used to have any meshes. So before that, this was a time before that, and it was horrible. Like whenever I used to have the lights on, a cockroach would fly into my room, and oh my god, those are the worst kind of thing. Obviously, it's a universal truth. I mean, everyone is sympathetic to flying cockroaches at this point. But anyways, so this is a bit unusual. So what happened was, as usual, my jeans were hanging. Okay, yeah, hung. Let's go with hung. My jeans were hung behind the door on that this thing, and turns out there was a bat living inside my jeans, and I hadn't used it for a long time because I don't know why. I mean, if we hang some pants on the back of the door and we do not use it, are we even living? Huh? No? Okay. So then what happened was there was a bat which laid eggs inside my jeans, and then turns out every night around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock or something, it was flying to and fro outside the window into my room and into the pant, and nurturing or whatever you call it, and then it used to go back. And funny thing is, I never noticed this because I think that was a period when I don't know, I was studying or something. I used to go to classes, and so I had to constantly wake up at 5:30. So I used to be in bed by 10:30, 11, and because of that, I never noticed this whole thing which was going on. And oh my god, it was the minute I noticed it, it was so damn, I don't know, scary to say the least. Obviously, Batman fantasies aside, it was pretty scary. And turns out there was a small bat living inside my jeans, and I slowly took it outside to the balcony, and I was so scared. Like as I was growing up, I was told stories that if a bat strikes you in the eye, you're gonna be blind, and I still believe that. So it's pretty damn scary. And the moment I heard some, twitching on inside the pant, and I was scared, really scared. White, white in fear, but it's black and okay, no. So then the bat pops out and it just flies all over, and I rush inside. Turns out my dad has the door closed. He's like, "You're on your own," and I was so petrified that that bat didn't even know. I think it's daytime, right? And it's so scared. And that's the funniest part. My dad actually closed the door on me, and till this day I feel so betrayed. I don't trust him. I always ask him to walk first, and then I walk behind him just to make sure nothing happens. So yeah, I think this, if you can imagine it, is a pretty funny thing. But at the moment, I was really scared. Anyways, here's zoom out syndrome, and this can get a bit philosophical if you ask me. I mean, I'll try my best not to make it so boring that this is one of those motivational podcasts that says life. I don't even want to complete that quote. I don't even know. There's just so many motivational things out there. I don't want this to be motivational. I just want this to be relatable. So this was a time when I was, no, as in this happens to me whenever I study. Like, sometimes most of our lives are just filled with doing repeated things again and again. You do the same things over and over and over, and it's just the ordinary things which take up most of your life. Let's say you're working, and most of the times you're just doing a regular job, and there's not much variety in your job, I would say the least. And studies as well. 5 years you're studying the same thing over and over again. Obviously, there are new chapters and whatnot, but the structure is same. You're gonna get used to a particular type of life, and I would say monotonous to say the very least. Yeah. So here's the thing with monotonous things over a period of time. I mean, there is going to be too much monotony as well. I mean, there is no end to that. And this is what I felt when I was studying for my exams. You see, basically, the structure is such that for 5 months, you need to keep studying the same thing over and over again. And everything gets decided in a matter of 2 weeks. So here's the thing. So when you keep studying, you slowly stop seeing the point in everything. I mean, you're going to study, you're going to pass, you're going to work, and what then? Right? And beyond a point, you just start seeing everything in one, just as a one process kind of a situation. Like, yeah, like what I explained, you stop seeing the little things, you stop seeing the beauty in little things. And this is what I call it as zoom out syndrome. You keep zooming out of your life and seeing it as one process rather than paying any attention to the details. So that is kind of a tricky situation, to say the very least. And when you're caught up in such a situation, nothing really interests you. I mean, you reach a phase where you're too bored by anything. You don't want to do anything, you don't feel like doing anything. You're just tired. You know that whatever happiness you have is pretty temporary, and it's not going to last. Ultimately what you are going to go back is to your old ways and habits, and your work. So that is a pretty scary situation, and I'm sure most of us would have been in. What I like to do is, I don't know, I mean, I wouldn't say it as work like 100% of the time, but obviously I'm not here to give you some solutions or something. You can't just solve your problems. I mean, life is one unsolvable problem. I gotta write that down. So yeah, here is the thing about zoom out syndrome, and rest assured it happens to everyone. Yeah. Okay, I don't know if you noticed, but I took a pause in between. I had some work to do, and yeah, I'm back. Damn, I need to stop saying these things as if it's some live episode. Anyways, so the whole zoom out syndrome is what I like to do, and what I mean, it doesn't work obviously. You need to figure out your own things, but generally, what I like doing is I stop focusing on what I have to do at the moment, because this zoom out syndrome happens most of the times when you're in the middle of a big goal, right? You have an assignment that's due like 1 month in the future, or you're working towards something. So I like to take a moment out of the thing. I like to change my environment, because let's say you're doing something and you stick to 4 to 5 places where you're constantly focused on doing this kind of work. So you change your environment. Maybe you go out, maybe you do something for a change or something like that. But ultimately the thing is, do something, don't think about it. I feel we are mostly chained by our thoughts and not actions. So what I'm trying to say is, you sit and you think, and you can think about anything. Like, it's just limitless, right? But if you actually start acting on something, then your thoughts might be a little healthier. That's what we are aiming to achieve. But honestly, like I said, I'm not here to give you any kind of solutions. I don't think I can magically solve your problems, or neither am I skilled enough to actually solve your problems. But I'm just here to tell you that everyone's going through this. And also, thanks to my one of my friends, who she was talking to me about this whole situation, and then that is when I coined that term, the zoom out syndrome. So yeah, so it's just to let you know that everyone's going through this kind of things, and it's pretty scary to say the least. But it doesn't hurt to just look at different things once in a while, because I think someone said this, like, life goes on too fast. It wouldn't hurt to slow down for a while and look at things around you. So yeah, that's it, to say the very least. I mean, I can't really dive on this topic too much, because slowly it blurs the line between relatable stuff and straight up motivational things. I'm just here to tell you that everyone's going through this, and we can deal with this in our own way. I mean, we all get through this. I'm pretty sure we do. Anyways, that's it for today's episode. Also, I would like to know your thoughts on Animal, that movie, I haven't watched it yet. I would sure love to watch it, but it gives me quite an idea for next week's topic. I am kind of torn between there are two topics. I think one, I would like to talk about movies and how it impacts us, but then you know I always like to keep that humor quotient, and episodes like these, they just take the humor right out of your face. I mean, I cannot crack any jokes and make you laugh in situations like these. So yeah, let me know your thoughts about Animal if you have watched it. I would really love to know what the audience close to me, as in my listeners, what do they think about it. And maybe if you have some suggestions as well, you can let me know what do you want me to talk about. And yeah, that's it for this week. Also, I'm sorry for a Monday upload, and yeah, I was kind of pretty busy during the weekend, so I'll just see if I can record my episodes during the week itself. And yeah, like Monday blues, I get it. I do get it. Yeah. Anyways, take care, have a lovely week, and I'll see you next weekend. Bye bye.